Hello everyone, welcome to Skillify session Amity University online. Today with you, Dr. Sunil Kumar, Assistant Professor, Amity University online. So today I'm going to put my views on how to overcome your fear of public speaking. So in this particular discussion or idea, what we are going to discuss on is something where we need to deal with the public speaking skills, and every one of us deals with the public speaking, whether we are facing a larger audience, whether we are facing a smaller audience, or whether we are interacting with them offline or online. At some point, every one of us have to face the public, and we need to put our thought, put our views, express our ideas, and deal with the public speaking. And then there is something, fear of it comes in. So the question is how we are going to deal with it. Now, is it common, or is it only a specific case for me as an individual? So we need to deal with that phobia. What is that phobia is? So if you look into the fear of public speaking, this is very common all across the people. It's not only specific for me or as an individual. No, it is common, and it has been seen in the various different people. So if we look into how the Mark Twain says, so there are two types of speaker. Number one, those who get nervous, and number two, those who are liars. Now the liars are not putting the wrong facts, but they are the one who hide their fear and they speak well in front of their audience. They express themselves, they connect their audience, they are handling their fear very well. So let's deal with that fear and speak and talk to our audience. So how we can do that? Is that public speaking anxiety always bad? That fear is always bad? Is it something which is very specific? Is it something which comes before the public speaking, or during, or after? So what we need to do, we need to see there's a discomfort of that feeling. So is that feeling of discomfort which is there before we talk to the audience, during the speaking, or after the session? It is perfectly normal. If it is happen, be normal, because it happens with the majority of the people, and it's quite natural. We don't need to panic about it. If it is natural, that means it can be managed. It is manageable. So the question is, what do we need to manage? We need to manage our emotion. So we need to utilize our emotion, and we can minimize our anxiety. So once we are in a position to minimize our anxiety, what can happen? We can control our anxiety level, and we can be an effective public speaker. We can put our thoughts very well in front of the people. And that is why we say that we cannot eliminate 100% of these anxieties, because it is inbuilt within us, right? So we can control them by controlling our emotion, and then we can manage them to a moderate level. If it is at a higher level, if it is a moderate level, we can further go down to a lower level, and we can be a good public speaker, right? So the question is, why are we scared of public speaking if we can manage them? And how we can overcome it? We can change our status from being so silent, so fearful at a public stage, and how we can become a confident, and we can address it in a very well manner. So for that, we need to first understand what we are scared of. What we are scared of? Are we scared of fear of attention? Are we concerned so much of what audience is going to think about, what the people will take, how they will consider us? Or I am having fear of failure. I'm not confident that I will able to deliver my thought, my ideas to the larger population or the larger audience, or maybe a group of people whom I am addressing to. Is that fear of failure is there? And then the fear of being ridiculous. So questioning ourselves, questioning our own intent and approach, delivering the speech, the thought, the idea, the content to the population, to my audience. Is that so? So if there's a fear of being ridiculous, then what happens? We start having self-inflicted. What does that mean? That means questioning ourselves, stopping ourselves from moving ahead and doing good. So it is a natural reaction of the body to the stress about the public speaking. So what kind of the reaction it shows? It's maybe like self-criticizing. We start asking ourselves, am I a terrible speaker? It happens with many of the people, whether it's for a newcomer, even if you have been experienced, but at times, at some point of time, it happens with us. We keep thinking, we start criticizing. So we should not do this. Always avoid questioning yourself, being a terrible speaker. Appreciate yourself. So second, a point what comes is avoiding the speech. That means avoid preparing and practicing. So do prepare well what you have to speak, with whom you need, who is your audience. So prepare accordingly. And then the third is trying to be perfect. We cannot be perfect every time, but at the same time, we can do best. So try your approach for being best what you can do, and it will reduce the pressure what we create on ourselves. Then stop imagining worst situation. We don't need to care about the worst situation. Start thinking about the best possible situation. What will happen if I will be able to make my audience happy? If I will be able to communicate well to my audience, they will understand me. They will take me as what I'm trying to convey the message. So what do we need to do? We need to relax. Write some motivational quotes with you. Like, it is okay to feel nervous. It is fine. I will be doing good, excellent. And then appreciate yourself every time after you're done with your public speaking. So that will motivate you. That will give lots of energy, encouragement for doing a good while speaking. That will give you the higher confidence. So when we start asking, questioning ourselves, what happens? Because this is something which comes from brain. So when brain give the response, it is reflected in our body action. So what is there as my brain's response to the fear, that becomes my reaction. And before we enter the audience, these physical reactions are first thing which is visible to the audience. So what kind of physical reaction our body shows? First and the foremost is heart rate increase. We start breathing fast. The heart start pumping blood fast. The sweating happens. Dry mouth, stomach ache, tense and the shaking muscles, quick breathing. I hope you can relate with them. And at some point of time in your life, you must have had interacted with these kind of reaction. And despite the fact maybe you have been addressed to population, larger audience, multiple number of times, but there's always some of time in the life where we have come across these kind of the body reaction, especially when we are having that anxiety, that fear, how to face, what to say, whom to say, how well I can connect my audience. So that is the response what we get. Now the point is how we can overcome these response, these fear, these anxiety. So we will take 5 quick tips or quick method through which we can overcome the fear of public speaking. Number 1, focus on, keep your content very easy, simple to understand, that your audience should always be able to connect with your content, what you want to deliver, what you want to talk about, and how well you're. So that relevance and the right length is very important. Do not stretch so much. To the point. Be specific. Keep your audience attention connected to your content. Make them interest with your content. The second way is voice. The voice is something where it gives an essence of your speech, how you're going to do. There's a tension in your breath. If there's a tension in your voice, the audience can easily sense them. So you need to control your energy for your audience so that it will be a very good delivery. So how we can do that? The first, always prepare to start strong. And second way is a good speech pace. What does these two means? So when we say prepare to start strong, that means you need to start with the very solid points. So you immediately get the attention of your audience who are listening to you, who are there to hear you, get some outcome. And if you're thinking that you will slowly and you will get the attention the later part, it is not going to happen all. It may happen at some time, but not always. So always prepare to start strong to get a better delivery. Second, a good pace. When we are saying good pace, that means we should not go too fast or too slow. Because when we are going too fast, might end up nervousing ourselves. That is not a good situation. That means we are hampering our own self. So what we need to do? We need to have a combination of different pace. At times you can go fast, at times you need to go medium, and at times you should go slow, depending upon what message you want to keep the attention of your audience connected, right? So that is how the voice makes a very key role in it. Then is the posture. So usually when you are faced offline or in person to your audience, your posture, your body language speaks a lot. It shows how confident you are, how control you are with your anxiety or with your fear. So always try to be open and have a sync between the message and your body language. That what message you want to give and what you are speaking to. So there should be a proper sync between. Make an eye contact with your audience. See who are interested in your talk, who are more inclined to your discussion. And please be open. If you can see in the picture, be open to accept what is coming from the audience. Get involved in the discussion. Bring friends into your discussion. So that will give you more confidence while you are speaking to the larger audience. Then is the nervousness. How you can further handle your nervousness. If it is there's a podium, utilize your podium to the best possible way. Move around your around the podium and talk. Engage people. Be confident. Be loud, so that everyone can hear you clearly and loudly. Then last but not the least, that is notes. That's very interesting key point. At times people think that I will write the complete script and I will take it to the podium in front of the audience. I will read that. That is not going to happen actually. It will never happen, because it will make you feel more nervous. And we don't have to feel nervous. we need to deliver a good idea to my audience. I need to connect to my audience. So avoid the full script. Instead of that, we can keep a cue card with us and with the key words or with summation in one line or maybe few words. So that will help you if you case you miss out some points. So never ever take full script, keep the keywords with you and connect with your audience. Talk on all the points which you have. Now, apart from these five major way in which we can overcome our fear of public speaking, there are few more tips, or we can say we can summing up our point of discussion. First, practice aloud. Do in front of a mirror, someone say in front of recordings. You can do self-recording. There's technology era. You can do record and you can revisit and can see how well you're doing. What are the areas of improvement are there that you can do? Remember why you are there. What is the purpose? What is the objective? You are there to address, to send some message, to connect the audience. So keep that focus. Have a script, but do not memorize it 100%, because at times there may be some additional point which comes from the audience. They want to discuss something upon. So be prepared with it and do only rely on the technology, like I will show on the PPT presentation. It may happen, the technology may at times fail. So you should be prepared for a situation where there's no presentation. So that cue card with the keywords will help you to recall all the major points which you want to discuss. So that is how that cue cards is going to help. That notes is going to help you. Know your audience, whom you're speaking to, so that you can frame the boundaries within which and to what extent you need to speak, right? And do take a pause, do take a deep breath, keep your body normal. Do not show it to your audience how well you are going to interact with the audience. And last but not the least, focus on the beginning and ending of both. These are two other very important points. How you start and how you end. It should always be connected and linked with each other. The point from where you have started, you need to end in summing up the same pointers. So with this, I hope you all have enjoyed, and by using these techniques, you can overcome your fear of public speaking to some extent. Thank you for joining. Have a good day.